Alright, good morning ASM! My name is Noops and I will be taking over for the hosting until about lunchtime. With me is Board Banana, who will be running a hat in time, and I'm going to pass it over to them.
Yep, so hi everyone, I'm Board Banana. I've got Avery in comms with me, helping me commentate.
Hello.
So this is Hat in Time. Yep. This is Hat in Time. Indie developed 3D platformer, meant to just be like a love letter to those lost to the ages, with a heavy inspiration of Mario Sunshine. Now, I believe there's been a last minute snipe on the incentive.
Just a bit of a snipe, you know. a casual $50 donation to bring Bo Kid up to $50.
Alright, so I guess I'll be playing as Bo Kid then, everyone's favorite character. So the game starts right as I hit yes here. So maybe if Avery, you want to count us down? Something different?
Sure. Alright. 3, 2, 1, game.
Game indeed. Good luck, have fun.
So very start here, gonna head to our first level, Welcome to Mafia Town, after interacting with this sign. And in this level, I'm gonna be getting 2 yarn, which allow us to craft our first hat, the sprint hat. Now, hats are generally just our abilities, and this sprint hat is, as you could imagine, a hat that allows us to sprint. Very, very crazy. I'm also going to grab these 5 ponds here to unlock the second level.
Yeah, it's actually funny how you're playing as Bo Kid on this one, because last year it was Hat Kid, so mixing it up.
Yeah, gotta show the difference.
Yeah, the crazy difference between the two characters.
So the reason we want to enter She Came From Outer Space next, even though it does cost some ponds to enter, is we want to get a bunch more yarn to craft Brewer Hat, which is going to speed up the third level quite substantially. So I'm just going to run through this level and collect a bunch of stuff as I head to the end. One thing you might notice is that this is actually the same area we were just in, it's just nighttime. The way these levels work are, as I said, much like Mario Sunshine. You've got your worlds, which change dramatically based on the level you enter. So just in terms of what the goal of this speedrun is, this is any %, which means we want to beat the level the finale as quickly as possible. To enter the finale, we need 25 timepieces, which is the major collectible of the game. We get 1 for each level we beat. So effectively, we need to beat 25 levels, which unlock the finale. In order to do that, we're going to need specific hats, which, as I said before, require yarn. So we'll be collecting a bunch of yarn along the way. And to unlock a couple of levels later in the run, we're going to need these green things called ponds. The pond count is really lenient for the route I'm taking, so they're not going to be a major issue, but you will see a lot of them popping up. So there's our second timepiece. Those hourglass things, we're collecting a whole bunch of them. Heading into the third level, Barrel Battle. This is everyone's favorite mini boss. I don't know what you would call this.
Everyone loves it.
So this is Barrel Battle. This is first use of Brewer Hat. It effectively allows us to throw damage-inducing potions, which is gonna help speed up this fight. You're meant to learn how to do homing attacks, where you attack in the air, but the Brewer Potion is faster and better. And now we're going to listen to this guy. He wants to see if we can handle this barrel. Well, I'll handle this barrel by standing right here for about 40 seconds. I'll stand still like he's asking, you know? I'll cooperate. This might be a nice little chance for a dono or two, if we have any.
Alright, we have a $10 donation from JK Sessions, who says, "Thank you Australian Speedruns for having me as host this year. Even though I had all graveyard shifts, my time has been enjoyable. Time for me to go to bed. See you all again next time. Donation goes to the world's hardest game."
So now he's going to come down. We can actually hit him early and make him drop down faster, because this game is well made. And speaking of the game being well made, there's something interesting that we need to talk about, and that's called lag. So, this game's made in the Unreal Engine, which means the physics of the game is tied very closely to the frame rate. So if we induce a whole bunch of lag, we can kind of take control of the world in really funky ways. So if you see the game stutter for about half a second, don't worry, that's not the stream, that's me. And not my computer either, it's intentional.
Yeah, the way we used to lag was through menuing and changing settings around to make it lag, but it was kind of inconsistent between computers, so we ended up just making well, Username, who's a part of the hack community. He made a program so then everyone can lag at a consistent rate, so it's all the same.
So I'm going to try dive boosting off this button and lagging. As you saw, that gate is meant to come down once you walk off the button, but by using lag, we can get under the gate before it drops back down, and that skips like a... I don't know if I'd call it a puzzle, but just some out-of-the-way movement.
Yeah, normally you grab like a bucket, and you have to put it on that button to open up the gate.
So we're coming up on our first boss fight. I'm going to climb up here to skip a mini-fight before the boss, though. So this is Mafia Boss, our first actual boss fight. So all bosses have a death plane underneath the stage. If we can make them hit that plane, most of the time the game goes, okay, well, you beat the boss, here's your timepiece. So in order for us to get the boss to clip out of bounds, we want to push him off a dynamic object, and luckily for us, there is one such object, the big Mafia ball that he makes later in the fight. So I'm going to stand here and turn around a bit.
This fight does also have a little bit of RNG.
Yeah, I think I'm getting okay RNG.
Yeah, so he does a scream animation sometimes, like that.
Never
Or
mind.
sometimes he'll do this, where he jumps into the foreground and has these sandbags come down. Those lose a few seconds each.
Gonna hit him. Oh, I said I'm gonna hit him with a brawl potion, and I'm gonna clip into the stage. Stand over here.
Okay, so what he did there was a boop clip. They added the emote wheel, and boop is included, and boop has some strange properties. They let you go through objects sometimes.
Yeah, like if I boop here, I'll just fall out of the timepiece.
Yeah.
So yeah, effectively what I did there was lagging inside the Mafia boss while holding a brewer allowed me to kind of just nudge him a bit out of the Mafia ball. And as I said, because he's only meant to stand on the Mafia ball, not the stage at that point, he just falls through the stage, hits a death plane, and gives us a timepiece. So this is Deadbird Studio. The concept of this level is we're meant to sneak through this whole section, avoiding the birds and the owls. Luckily for us, most of them are blind, like that guy I just ran in front of. This guy here is a little less blind, but he was on a nice cycle there.
Yeah, there's some that can see you from like a mile away, and then others that you can essentially just stand right in front of them, and they don't even notice you.
Like this guy, I'm just going to dive boost right in front of. Well, I'm going to try. Oh, they don't like if you bounce off them, though. They do notice you if you touch them.
Yeah, they don't need vision for that one. They're good. They know you're there.
Vision impaired, but not touch impaired. So I can kind of skip a big portion of the level by coming over here. You're normally meant to stand on a train. That guy there sees you instantly if you go into his thing.
He's insane. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's alright. I can just come up here. Nice little backup. Yeah, this guy's crazy. We call him the Terminator because he terminates runs. Getting my picture done with DJ Grooves, and there's a button here I want to click with my mouse. Nice. That button.
It's deceivingly hard to click that button.
Yeah. People lose seconds to ILs in that. They'll be grinding this. Avery will know, grinding this for like a really good time and then throw it at the done button. It's the most devastating thing. We're now going to go into Picture Perfect, where we're going to become very popular. Going to talk to all the penguins and get our photo taken a bunch. So that's all it takes for popularity, I believe. Also, BoKid destroys all these pictures because she's evil and the worst of the two characters to play as. So I guess one thing we didn't really talk about is actually, I'll talk about it in a minute, but here I'm going to try and hit this piece of wood with a brawl potion. If I get that, never mind. If I got that, I wouldn't have had to climb the statue, which just saves a couple of seconds there. But all in all, that was nice. So one thing we haven't really talked about is the movement in this. So you see I'm doing a lot of dive boosts. Dive boosts are our fastest form of general movement. There are some specific cases where you do other things, but in general, we want to dive boost as much as possible. Sprint jumps are then the next fastest thing, but we don't have much control with sprint jumps. And then sprint jumping after that is the next best. Sorry, sprinting after that is the next best option. Interestingly, we can actually do what are called double sprint jumps, where if we jump close to an edge like that, we can actually get 2 quick sprint jumps off. And we can also extend our normal double jump like that by carrying sprint speed into like your playing double jump. So that's also the reason we want to wear sprint hat most of the time, because it allows us to do some interesting movement tech.
Yeah, and also he did a lag STJ in that level, which is you can lag and it gives you some coyote frames when you're jumping off of a platform, so you can get a little bit more distance.
Also hitting Roomby. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, Roomby. We're now entering Subcom Forest. We're going to use Boop here into a cutscene, which is... Oh, I accidentally jumped at the wrong time. So I've booped into that cutscene, and I now have control. So right now, the game kind of thinks that I'm in a bag, and that I'm not meant to be able to move. And it wants to play another cutscene in about 20 seconds. I don't think I'm going to make that, so I'm just going to go. So instead, what I'm going to do is activate this cutscene here. And the cutscene that the game wanted to try and play doesn't activate, because that one was activated instead. Effectively saving, I don't know, like 20-30 seconds, because that cutscene that occurs after the bag is disgustingly long.
He talks to you for a while.
Yeah. So one thing about this world I guess I'll explain after this, actually. You see, I'm taking a lot of damage while I'm burning these paintings. Burning the paintings is going to give us a timepiece. But the damage is interesting, because I'm going to take this cherry that I've just carried to the top of this tree. Whoops, that was the wrong button. And the cherries are actually explosives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignite the cherry with this little dweller dude and throw it at the timepiece, and then do a damage abuse into the timepiece. Or not. Don't know why I landed on the cherry. That's not ideal.
And that is a time loss.
That's not good. I haven't done that for a long time. So,
but we don't have to do the same thing that he did last time, so it'll be a
yeah,
little bit
don't have to do the
faster
boop.
this
The
time.
cutscene is still there, but we don't have to do the whole invisible movement. Pulled a Parafied where I stood on top of the cherry accidentally. Except Parafied doesn't do it accidentally. That's okay. So, as I was gonna say anyway, in this level, this world, you're meant to unlock levels within it by signing contracts. So, unlike the other worlds we saw where you get you unlock new levels just by progressing through the world, in this one specifically, you do it by signing contracts, which you have to go find. So we're going to be signing specific contracts, and we were meant to have gotten one during the cutscene that we skipped. But that's okay, because the area that it would unlock is just open anyway. Which is over this way. Now going to see our first use of a lag warp. By lagging the game in that specific way, the game thinks that we're kind of stuck and just sends us back to our last safe spot, which was that plank of wood.
Yeah, the game has like a failsafe in case you're stuck somewhere, and so it warps you back to the last place it deemed you were safe. And so we abuse that mechanic by lagging the game and jumping, and the game thinks we're stuck. And so we can use it in some broken ways.
Please, thank you. So this is a subcom well. This is meant to be the second level you unlock. But as I said, it's just open and you can just enter it at any time. This and one other level are the anomalies to the concept of you need to unlock a level to get its timepiece, because you can just come into here whenever. It's just open. Got a nice slide off that route. So one thing that's interesting about dive boosting in this game is the speed of your boost changes depending on the speed you go into the boost. So if you get a really fast like slide, and we'll see that later, if you get a really fast slide, you can get a really fast dive boost, and they're pretty crazy.
Also, he makes that ice hat there because the cutscene plays anyways, so you don't lose time from doing the hat craft animation since the cutscene's already playing.
Ice hat's actually pretty crazy. We're going to see some really cool movement tech with it later. Most casual players probably think that ice hat's kind of like one of the most useless hats because of how you only use it in very specific use cases and it turns you into a slow statue. But that is not the case at all. It actually gives us the fastest movement in the game.
The fastest statue.
This is the obligatory first-person shooter game. Gonna ask these little guys to sign for their packages. Get a nice double shot on that guy. Did he take his mail? He did take his mail. That's alright. Luckily, most of them signed for their packages.
Yeah, this level is much more optimal on keyboard and mouse because of like aiming the mail shot is far faster with the mouse than the control stick.
Yeah, I guess that's something we didn't talk about is the differences between keyboard and mouse and controller. Keyboard and mouse is actually crazy. Here I'm holding open the emote wheel to keep this menu up. If I can grab the timepiece, I can then just quickly go back to hub. And I don't have to watch the fade out. Sorry, you were talking about keyboard and mouse and I interrupted.
Yeah, keyboard and mouse lets you just buffer things a lot easier and more reliably. And when on controller, sometimes instead of buffering, you have to do a frame perfect input. And so that's a lot less fun to have to do that.
Yeah.
It's not
and it's
required,
just more buttons.
But
You
it
got
does,
more keys.
Yeah. Yeah, that also.
We're running out of buttons on controller. Stop finding things.
I'm running out of buttons.
I have
Three
no
of my
buttons
buttons
left.
are taken up by tricks, like specific movement tech.
So this is everyone's favorite movement, mana movement. You all love to see it, I'm sure. Just going towards the mana. Gonna get a bunch of dive boosts here.
It's definitely the fastest way to get to mana.
It is. Yep.
Now there is a trick here where we can get here a little faster, but it's not the most consistent trick ever. Banana's all about his consistency, so.
I don't do silly tricks for silly people. In here, we can't actually use any of our hats. So that's why I'm being a slow boy and walking. And here I can jump on the door to jump over a cutscene. The cutscene would normally tell me where this chest is, but because I've played the game more than twice, I know where the chest is.
And you can look forward.
Yeah.
And
also, one thing I completely forgot about was I crawled through a hidden hole that sent me to the very last room of the manor. Normally you'd have to go through like a auto-scrolly chase sequence. But I didn't have to do that because I went through the developer-intended crawl space.
They did that because I'm pretty sure they did that because like that section of the game is like a horror section, like quote unquote. And so in case you didn't want to do that, you can just go right to the end.
Coming up on our second rift. These rifts are, you probably saw in gallery, they're just like little movement challenges. They're all very quick, so we're going to be doing as many as possible.
And all very cycle based as well.
Yes, so I got the good cycle here, but I forgot to equip hookshot. That's alright. Sometimes if you forget to equip hookshot too late, you can miss the hookshot entirely. That's happened to me on a few good runs before. And then we come over here and we can grab the timepiece. We're going to be doing one more rift. It's not the rift that's going to be interesting here. It's actually the first use of what we call an ice hat slingshot. So I alluded before of how the ice hat is actually insane. If we use ice hat on a slope, the statue will fly down the slope with very high speed, and we can convert that into a double jump. So you see there, I got a ton of speed off that slope, and nice slingshot there. That was a nice little swag strat. So yeah, if we use ice hat on slopes, we can get a ton of speed and convert that into a double jump, which sends us super far.
But that entry was clean.
That was good. Yeah, that's one of my best entries, actually. And I choked with the failed STJ. Very cool.
Yeah, so just another cycle-based rift.
The cycles in this one don't matter as much because it's not like the cycle blocks things. Oh!
That blocks
That's gaming.
That block's going faster.
That block's continuing the level.
It's not
That's
that bad,
alright though, yeah.
Not that bad.
Get to see more of everyone's favorite rift, the village. Everyone loves village, right? Everyone plays village.
Oh yeah.
Can I get the DSJ?
Everyone does that.
Oh, I'm gaming.
Nice.
That DSJ is really hard because, so as I said before, you have to do a quick sprint jump at the edge of collision, but on that bow you can't see the collision, so it's more of a feeling based double jump. And now everyone's favorite boss, Toilet of Doom. Toilet is much straightforwarder than Mafia boss. There's no crazy lag strats here. But, as I said before, remember there is a death plane underneath us that we want the toilet to hit. And again, we need him to stand on a dynamic object, which he does. There's a massive cherry he spawns later. So, we're going to try and do a trick where we time ourselves to bounce in between him and the cherry, and then carry the toilet on our heads. And hopefully we can walk him off into the abyss.
Boss also does have a little bit of RNG, where these cherries spawn. It's nothing crazy, but
Yeah, you can lose
just
a few
tiny
seconds
bit.
like that. That was not super good RNG, but whatever. So I'm going to stand here and run off to the side once he jumps in the middle. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good timing. And there we go. So yeah, because I got between him, he's meant to just bounce on my head, but I was moving forward as he was moving forward, so he couldn't really fall off. And I kind of just walked him off into off the cherry and into the abyss. There used to not really be a consistent setup for that. You just had to kind of eyeball it and hope. But then we got a one input setup, and it was the best thing that happened to a Hat in Time. Or one of the best things that happened to a Hat in Time.
the best thing. Number one.
I'd be doing Murder Ad if it wasn't for that.
And then it's the worst thing that's happened.
Another little movement challenge here. This one is... The cycle in this one's actually pretty significant. You can lose many seconds if you miss the cycle, but looks like I hit the cycle, which is nice. Yep, 30. That's good. Something I'm doing at the end of all these rifts as well is exiting back to hub immediately. You're normally meant to do like a... What's the word? Roulette? Minigame thing, and you can unlock cosmetics. That's slow. So, and we're happy looking at basic default die bow kid. So I'm not going to be doing any of them. Into Golden Vault. Here we want to collect 4 little golden tickets that are spread around the world. I'm going to be getting a bunch of yarn along the way. There's the second golden ticket. And then once we get the 4 golden tickets, we can go back to the start of where we spawned and get our timepiece. Coming up is also the intended use of Ice Hat. These platforms just send you to a specific location, which is, as I said before, like, you probably think that they're not super useful. And there's another Ice Hat slingshot. So you saw I went down that slope. Okay, don't know how I missed that. Went down the slope, got a ton of speed with the Ice Hat, and went very far with a jump after it. So that's what happens when you use Ice Hat on a big slope. But sometimes our slopes are little baby slopes, and we don't get much speed off of them. And that's where our good friend lag comes in. So here
Lag's always the answer.
lag is the answer. If you want to spend more time doing something, i.e. sliding down a slope, lag. This is heating up Mafia Town. Again, we're going to be traveling around this level a lot. Here I'm going to try and do a 1-frame jump. Nice. And that 1-frame jump is going to leave my safe spot up at the start of the level if I get a stuck warp here. So that's a instance of tricking the game into thinking that I can't move. And it just sends me back to where it thinks I was last safe. So here I'm going to do a ice hat slingshot, but with lag, and I get the same amount of speed, if not more, despite the slope being really small. Another one coming up now. If I can get the shot. And then into a balloon. Balloons carry, extend, keep, preserve, whatever word you want to use. They keep your speed. So by hitting that balloon with the lag shot, you go super far. Oh, okay. Can lag warp back to the start there a little bit faster than getting a stuck warp. And now we're just going to clean up the rest of Mafia Town with another blue rift. Maybe if we've got any more donos, we could fit one more in this level before we hit the end game.
Well, I can instead remind everybody who we are and what we're doing. We are Oz Speedruns, a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity working to raise the awareness of mental health issues and reduce the stigma around these issues to help people achieve their best possible mental health. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com, chuck an exclamation point donate in chat, and while you're there, make sure to check out our awesome donation incentives. Do I have time to chat about the incentives as well?
Yeah, you got a little bit of time.
Excellent. Well, we are currently $91 away from meeting the Bioshock 2 Minerva's Den Play Asteroids incentive. That is $209 out of $300. We also have a gigantic incentive right at the end of the marathon for World's Hardest Game. That's sitting at $858.27 outside of $2,000.
Yeah, get those donos in for World's Hardest Game. We've got to see that. It's the World's Hardest Game, dude. Can't miss out. Going to unlock Cheating the Race, which we're not going to cheat. The game intends for you to go and make Time Stop Hat, but that takes like 32 yarn or something crazy. So instead, we're just going to use pure skill, and we're going to beat this guy with our raw sprint hat. But he's using a rocket, which is a little unfair. I'd say he's cheating the race, personally. Here...
Yeah, we
sorry,
cheat
go.
cheating the race. We cheat
Yeah.
cheating the race in this.
Oh, tabled. Oh, no. Okay, we're good. So you might have noticed a few of those momentum dive boosts I was talking about where I'd get a ton of speed from sliding and then get a really speedy dive boost. I might go for another one here. I missed the dive boost, all good. This is going to be our last rift, the lab, and also our first instance of a lag clip. So once again, lag's coming back. I'm going to do it as a ledge grab up here and clip into this post. And that post collision, if I move across, thank you, I just zip up to the top and end of the level, and I just skip pretty much the entire platforming challenge. We'll be seeing lag clipping come back in a couple of levels. Everyone's favorite trick. So I said before that we want 25 timepieces to get into the finale. Whilst that's true, Okay. Oh, bonkers? Whilst that's true, realistically, the goal of any percent is to get 20 timepieces to unlock Nakusa Metro, which we're entering now, because the timepieces in here are crazy fast. If we could get to Nakusa Metro early somehow, we'd be getting way more timepieces in here. I reckon we'd be getting like 7 or 8 timepieces here.
Yeah, each timepiece here averages like less than 20 seconds.
So a boop clip there. Same concept as a lag clip, just has different effects. And then I can do a little camera manip here and get a horrible train cycle. You can manipulate that train cycle by looking away for a minute.
That trick's also hardware dependent, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's different on every computer.
Everyone loves that.
So you have to go and find your own camera manipulation setup, which is crazy. Here we're going to be doing a lag clip called Dumpster Dive. It's called Dumpster Dive because you do it on a dumpster. There we go, nice. That's actually not an easy lag clip. I actually did a setup for it. Normally you don't have to set up your lag clips, you just do them. But that one's really weird. So I'm now out of bounds. The interesting thing about the timepieces in this level is that they're all present at the same time, and you can just go to them. We want to specifically get this one because where it spawns us is very quick for the next 2 timepieces. So we're gonna exit and re-enter the level at Yellow Overpass Manhole. Get on this train up here and do an SDJ. Here SDJs are really powerful because they don't just carry your sprint speed, they actually carry the speed that you have. And these trains are going really fast, so if you sprint while on the train, you're going super fast, and then you can carry that speed into a double jump. You get crazy distance. And this game's amazing. Sometimes it can just think that you're on a train when you're not, especially setting up for Dumpster Dive. Like, it's like you do the jump, also lag clip there to go out of bounds. And I'm gonna go for a swag strat. Shoutouts to Plurm.
Oh, he's doing it. Shoutouts to Plurm.
Oh, I failed. Sadness. That's alright. That doesn't lose much time.
Yeah, so what he was going for there is if you get a 1-frame jump in between a wall and the floor, you can like carry your momentum that you had, and you can get some cool stuff.
Yeah, you can go crazy far if you get that. This last timepiece is going to be our 25th timepiece. Don't need to exit back to hub, it's really close to where we spawn. And we're going to see the lag SDJ come back, if I can get up there. If I come up on this roof, I can lag SDJ all the way over here and skip the entire level. And that's our 25th timepiece. So we're now going to go into the finale. But first we got to watch a interactive cutscene with Mustache Girl, everyone's favorite character. So when we enter the finale, the level's going to be broken up into 2 major sections. If you're familiar with like Mario games, I like to think of it as like Mario 64, where you do the climb up to Bowser and then you fight Bowser. It's the same kind of thing. The first part we call the Gauntlet. It's very movement based. There's not much RNG involved other than like enemy movement, but that's minimal. And then the last part is the actual Mustache Girl fight. Which
is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
No movement and all RNG.
And get a nice... Oh, I got cucked by the chandelier there.
Yeah, so
Dude.
this is a triple sprint jump, also known as a TSJ, which is the kind of jump that can give us the most height that we know of.
There we go.
Or that we use, I should say. So here's another jump.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about cursed strats. Alright, so this is the gauntlet. I'm going to try and catch a cycle we call pillar cycle here. I reckon, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's probably about half a second of leniency here. Maybe a second.
Yeah, just around there.
It's pretty tight though. You saw I was sprint jumping at the start there. As I said, sprint jumps are faster than sprinting, but we can't dive boost up those slopes because they're too steep, so we sprint jump instead. So here I'm going to DSJ over to this pillar. This is not pillar cycle. There is a pillar up ahead I'm trying to catch. And I think I'm on cycle. Yeah, I'm on cycle.
Yeah.
So I can jump over here and get that pillar before it goes down. Very nice. Into a lag shot. And that's a very good finale beginning.
That's solid.
Oh, the bonk? You love to see it, dude.
Yeah, there's like a seam in between the fence right there that you could bonk on. Which is fantastic.
So here, a lag dive boost. We haven't seen that before. That's a trick to get a little bit more speed on your dive boost. And you'll notice I'm on 2 health. That's actually good. I'm not going to heal up. I'm going to do the rest of this level on 2 health. And then try and take a hit during the Mustache Girl fight and do a death abuse at the end of that. End of the first phase of the Mustache Girl fight. Oops. Never mind. I won't take a hit during the Mustache Girl fight. I'll just take a death abuse during the Mustache Girl fight. And that's why you do 2 health gauntlet, because if I was on 1 health, I'd be very sad. Oh. Into another lag dive boost, get a ton of speed out of those balloons. Oh, wait! I saw that coming from a mile away. I
Yeah,
dived way too early. So that's a really bad death. That sends us all the way back here. Oh
That's
my
one of the worst
gosh.
places you can die there.
Yeah, that's like the worst death in finale.
But it'll be okay.
It'll all be good. I'll take my damage here. That's a nice little backup damage there you can take. Doesn't lose much time because you got to bounce up anyway. Oh, wait. I completely forgot to lag dive boost. And then I lagged and I didn't dive boost. I'm just gonna...
But
I'm gonna take
this
it
is
safe
so
here.
You don't repeat what happened last
Yeah, I'm
time.
just gonna take it safe here.
We're looking fine.
And get on top of these hammers. And get a nice momentum dive boost there.
Yeah, if you do gauntlet very well, you can make that cycle, we call it hammer cycle, where you can get the momentum slide off that.
Alright, so this is Mustache Girl fight. She's pretty RNG heavy. I'm going to hit her 4 times and then try and, depending on what attack she does. Oh, okay, I'm going for it.
Oh, okay.
This
We
one's
have a
hard to
strat that
do.
No one does.
Oh, no. Okay,
Oh,
so
almost.
if that timepiece hit me, I would have skipped this black void area. There's 4 attacks you can do. 1 we don't have a death set up for. 2 that are like basically free. And then that one is like actually really hard. But I had to go for it for marathon, you know. Whoops.
So the first 3 phases of this fight aren't too bad. Not a lot of RNG and just very minimal RNG. And then the last 2 are the exact opposite.
Yeah, so we're heading into the 3rd phase, the Mafia Ball phase. You don't even really need to predict anything in this. She just like does the same 2 attacks over and over again. The only RNG is really like where she spawns, and where the Mafia Ball falls. Nice little time save. Her hitting the ice statue actually saves 0.3 seconds, because otherwise she'd just swing and like stand there. It's like, I didn't hit anything. What happened? So Snatch is going to throw out a
everyone's
bunch of
favorite
cherries. Yeah. We're looking for 1 cherry, 3 doubles, Oh, okay. Hold on. Cracked.
It's actually a good start. Okay. I was gonna say, still good though. Still really good.
Yeah, if you get a double in this phase, it's really good. I got a 2 cherry, 2 doubles. Oh, and a no cherry. Oh, you love to see the no cherry.
Oh, and underground. Got everything.
Yeah, this oh, the bounce off the head. Let's go. Oh, okay. I thought that wasn't gonna work then. Okay, that was
It was a good start, but
that was an interesting cherry phase. Ah, too late.
yeah. So you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4 cherries, and then you can also have it to where he just doesn't throw any cherries at all. And we have no idea how many no cherries you can actually get. I've seen like 4 no cherries.
Yeah, you can get like crazy because it's not like the cherries that you get depend on the cycles of Mustache Girl's like attack patterns and stuff, which is RNG. But then I'm pretty sure like getting a no cherry is just completely irrelevant and mutually exclusive to each other, so you can just sit there for ages waiting for. So I'm gonna try and go for some brewer doubles here. Nice, there's one. This is the final phase. I just have to hit her 8 times. Oh, Stompies. Where is she? Over there.
Yeah, so that shockwave move, if you throw a brewer at her, and then if her next move is that shockwave move, while you're still in the air, you can do a homing attack while she jumps in the air, and you can hit her, and it's really fast.
Okay, I didn't know that was the 8th hit, but sure. Time happens when we grab this massive ball of timepieces called the timepiece cluster, and that is the end of the run. Mustache Girl has been defeated. The world has been saved. Time, sorry.
GG's.
GG, well done.
Thank you. So yeah, that's Hat in Time any percent. It's a really everyone's favorite category. Shout outs to pretty much the entire hack community, especially like Doka, username, and who those people that push this game to its limits, and then like develop things like Avery was talking before, how username developed the lag inducer that we use, even a small timer fix for the game, like the things that they've done. Also, I don't know, should I give her the timepiece? What do you think, Avery?
No,
No?
you got horrible RNG.
Alright, she doesn't get the timepiece. Too bad, Mustache Girl's not getting saved.
You got TP5, you got a no cherry.
True. But yeah, like the community's great. Everyone just loves the game, loves the community. If you're interested in learning this game, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing movement-based platformer. If you're interested, join the Boop Troop. Everyone there's super helpful, willing to go out of their way to help you learn how to play this game fast. And don't play as Bo Kid. The game is called Hat in Time for a reason. You play as Hat Kid. I don't know if you want to say anything, Avery.
No, that's it. Everything you said, I agree.
Alrighty, well, thanks for running Bot Banana. Next up we have Fire Striker running Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Beginner Any percent.